Good morning. If you guys are new here, me and my wife Gina are building our off-grid house here up in the woods. And we've been working on recently sheetrocking our whole downstairs. We got it all sheetrocked, mudded, primed, and we finished putting the first coat of paint on yesterday. Just got up here this morning and I want to go around and check everything out, because now is the time you can really see imperfections start to jump out in your mudding when you got your first coat of paint on. At least for me anyways, that's when I notice it. So before we put our second coat on, I just want to walk around and see what I see if something needs to get sanded down or added more mud, or, you know, kind of like tapered in or something. Because if I see something and I don't like it and I don't fix it, it is going to bother me when we're here. That's one of the things with building stuff yourself, is you know the imperfections, or if there's a issue, you know where it is, and it always catches your eye. Kind of curious to see. Let's get the garage door opened up, get some light in the kitchen, and then see how it looks. From far back, everything looks good. Every once in a while, I can see a spot where like the paint's very see-through. So that's the first coat. Second coat will take care of that. But now I just want to go around and see if there's any, you know, imperfections anywhere that's really going to stick out at you when you're looking at stuff. It's not always easy to see the stuff on camera. Actually, there's one little thing. No, that's, missing paint. Standing back when the light's hitting it, it looks like it's a dent, but it's a light spot in the paint. So the kitchen walls, from what I can see, look good. There's some imperfections down low. That's where the kitchen cabinets are going. I didn't put a skim coat of mud there because I knew the cabinets were going to be there, so I wasn't going to get too fussy. But every area where the cabinets aren't going to be, I'm happy with. So that's good, because that's a big wall. Let's see, let's get this open. Get some light. A little bit of dust right there. I'll sand that out. So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you got a little nib. Bam, gone. So far, I am really impressed. I am surprised. Oh, right here. I don't know if, yeah, you can see that. That's a screw hole that needs to get filled with a little bit of spackle. See if we got anything else. Let's open the door, get more light in so we can see. Seeing a lot of light spots. Ooh, so these areas, those areas I noticed yesterday, and I filled them, and it's kind of weird. It must have been from the paint. It almost feels like, or it doesn't feel like, there's nothing behind them. They're hollow. So I'm gonna say this is a joint, and this joint right here, I had an issue when I was taping and mudding. I'm trying to think what happened. I think I ran out of tape, or my tape ripped and I had to overlay it. So I wonder if this is the area. I don't want to have to do this, but I think we need to cut these areas out and fix them. Yeah, see the paper is hollow behind it. Yeah, so there was no mud on the paper. It should be the same thing for this one then, I bet you. Yep, looks that way. Let's see. Yep. So we use the paper tape and a banjo, and we use the banjo to put mud on behind the tape. And for some reason, these spots did not have mud on the backside of the tape. And that is my issue. All right. I don't like having to cut holes in the walls, but hey, it is what it is. that is definitely weird that it's just a few spots that did that. So I'm gonna believe that there was just a couple of dry spots on that tape or something that had an issue. I'm gonna clean up the edges. We'll get that all spackled. Actually, I'll put some 45-minute mud in it, let it dry, and then we'll probably put a coat or two of spackle, prime it, one coat of paint, and then we can go back and get everything going. So let me get this touched up a bit more. All right, so I ended up like chamfering the edges, putting like a little bit of a 45 on them, so that way when we're putting the mud on, they don't have an abrupt edge. But I want to finish going around and checking the rest of the house on the first floor and making sure there's no more areas that I need to fix, because we'll get mud on everything at once, let it dry, and we'll prime and paint. Not prime, we'll paint what we need to paint while those spots dry. All right, I do see a few spots over here that I don't like. There was 3 bump outs instead of being like a screw hole going in, and they were outies. I don't know if that's what they were or not, but we just barely went through the paint and a little bit of the primer, got that down. There was a line. I was able to sand that out. I don't know if it was what it's from, but a little bit more left. It's just going through the paint and cleaning it up. There are pinholes right there I need to take care of. All right, I got a little bit of 45-minute mud that I want to mix up for the big holes that I had to cut out in the hallway. If you can think of any other reasons why this would have happened, let me know. Oops. All right, we'll let that dry and we'll see what it looks like in a little bit. Over here, we got some pinholes. I don't know if, there you go. I want to get those filled. All right, so I found some few imperfections that I fixed and they're drying. I did get some different roller covers because I wasn't in love with how they were putting the paint on that brand. So we got some new ones last night. So we just got a few spots. We got to stay clear of all the spackle dries. Worth it. But we can get this wall, these walls right here for now, and then the pantry, that one. We just got to watch out for this one and the hallway wall, and we can do the pantry. And this stuff should be dry quickly.
We gotta get done this painting because my painting clothes are about ready to walk by themselves.
You have to wash them.
How many days have I had them on?
Like 3 or 4.
Too many. Ready?
The spackling dried nice and quick. is ready for paint now. The second coat is going on so much nicer. It's funny, the more coats you get on, the easier it glides on.
So I have to take off again. I know it seems like I keep leaving. I had my post-op appointment. So yeah, it's been that long since my surgery now. So I had my post-op appointment and now my next surgery is coming up. So I have a pre-op appointment. So with the pre-op appointment, you also have a ton of other appointments. So unfortunately, I can't stay and finish, but at least it's the second coat and it's going on a lot easier and it looks great. And I'm sure he'll do a fine job without me. But I know he loves my company when I'm here.
That's right. Man, it's so beautiful out there. I hate not to shut the door. We're getting close. All right, enough outside daydream looking at the beautiful clouds. I just finished up the inside of the pantry. I keep wanting to call it closet, it's the pantry. So we'll let that side dry, we'll go in the hallway and get one side of the hallway done, and hopefully if that's dry, we can do the other side of the pantry, and then after that we can do the other side of the hallway. That's the game plan. All right, nice. We got the first coat on everything except for one wall in the pantry and this other wall in the hallway. And this other wall in the hallway. Unfortunately, the 45-minute mud is not quite dry. It's in there pretty thick, so I think we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow to sand it, top coat it, and then we can get this wall done and then the other wall in the pantry done. But other than that, it is all looking so good. I hate it when you're trying to do a project and you gotta wait for something to dry before you can move on to the next step. So fortunately, this is something that teaches me patience, even though I'm not good with that. So standing back and looking at the paint now from outside, or even coming in, it looks gray. So I don't know if it's the two coats or what it is, but it definitely looks like the classical gray that Gina wanted. have a new batch of meat birds that are in the mail on their way. So we're gonna get the first batch of meat birds just to the left side. They're big enough where they don't need the heat light inside the brooder, but they're not big enough to go out on pasture yet. So we'll get the new order of meat birds, put them on the right side, and they will have the heat lamps when they show up. We just gotta clean that out and wait for the phone call from the post office. Our 45-minute mud should be dry this morning, and it looks like it is. Oh yes, right here. Get this all lightly sanded, some spackling on it, and while that's drying, I almost forgot the other day, we still need to paint this wall with our gray, and then from here down with our gray. So while that spackling is drying, we can be painting that and getting that done. And then hopefully today we'll have all the paint done, except for some touch-up work, because there's always touch-up work. I think we'll let this one dry, and then we're probably still gonna need one more coat. All right. Ooh. We don't have much of this color left over, but it should be enough to finish up what we need. I just poured some of this paint into the tray, and it's gonna be close if we have enough paint to get 2 coats on it.
I think it looks nice and clean, and that's really what I'm going for. I think once we get electrical boxes and lighting and all that, it's gonna look really sharp and nice. And then we get the ceiling up, that would be even better.
Hopefully.
If you want a little bit of instant gratification from gardening, or if you've never gardened before and you want something to come up, plant radishes, because they just come up so fast. Check this out. The radishes. And then actually, there's a lettuce. Carrot, and then I did radish, and then there'll be another carrot, so there is a little bit of stuff there. And I did lettuce, there'll be some carrots, and then some more radishes, but just look at those. Aren't they beautiful? So I didn't plant regular radishes, I planted watermelon radishes, so I'm really excited to try them out this year. I don't like regular radishes, the spiciness of them. These are not like that, and I'm hoping they do good because I'm really excited, and it gives a nice crunch like to a salad, or if you just want to eat them. And They're pretty too.
This is the last of the first coat right here. We had enough left over, but not enough for a second coat. So now we gotta remember what color this is and get some more.
That's one thing that I really liking about going to the paint store, because I honestly didn't even really realize that we had a paint store until I think last year, but they keep track, they can put it in everything. So they have in their computer, if you want them to, they can keep track of the color you got, the sheen you got, what room it went to. So you can be like, hey, I painted my bathroom a certain color. I need a touch-up paint for that. And then they can go on their computer and they just have it all. So.
Finishing up the last wall in the pantry. This side we did yesterday.
Wait till you have to build all these shelves.
Right? All right. This coat is dry. All right, so that coat of spackling is still not dry yet, so I've decided we're gonna go around and put a third coat on. There's a few little blemishes I still don't like, and I think if we put one more good coat of paint on, it'll hide it, and it'll look really good. So,
You just can't help yourself.
I just can't help myself. I put a third coat on this wall right here to above the door, and it goes on quick, and it looks really nice and lays out good, so we're just gonna go around. We got paint left over still, so.
That's what he's using for excuse. Well, we
Yeah.
have this many gallons left, we can make a third coat.
That's
So.
right. And we're still gonna have paint left over and you can't return it. This third coat is going so fast. We've already got half of the house done. So it glides on nicely. I think it's just gonna make everything look nice and even.
I'm still ready to be done. Oh, you look so pretty in pink.
The spackling is finally dry. All right, now we can get this wall coated with a second coat of paint. Coat of paint over this area. Heavy. And then I will come back and roll it again. Now I just gotta cut in right here, and then we're gonna let this dry. I have another project I had to go work on. You guys will see that in a little bit. Right now I'm trying to do some of the not so fun stuff. We'll get that done, and then you'll see that hopefully in a few days, what we've been working on.
All right, I was on pickup chick duty today, so I'm gonna go and put them in the brooder. Does everybody look good? So far, so good. All right, let's take you out. Oh, you're so tiny. You're so tiny. Here's your water. Some food for you. Don't pick over it. I don't know where the other feeder is. That will do for now. Well, we have 52 healthy meat chicks. I'm going to shut this so they don't get any cold air on them. It's not too bad out, but a little bit breezy. So let's shut this. They're looking good.
Boy, does it feel good to have all the painting done. Well, just about all. We're going to have to go back through and touch up that hallway wall, but I figure we should probably wait until we got a lot more stuff moved in, because we're most likely going to scuff it here or there. So I'm glad we got that all done. We got our new meat birds, and man, those bears were huge. I've never seen a bear that big. It didn't look that big on camera, but in person, that mama bear, I don't know. I've never seen a bear that big. She must have weighed 400 or 500 pounds is my guess. So we'll have to keep an eye on her. So thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it. It really helps. And we'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye.